My wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa. As I say, dick.
Welcome to the Your Allegiance podcast, episode number 121. The numbers are getting more difficult to say as they go up, I think. How are you, Mal?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
It's having been not too bad, or at least I've been in the office, so there's been aircon. I've gone a bit warm this evening, so having another sweaty one.
Yeah, sweaty weather here. I spent the late afternoon, early evening up a cherry tree, taking cherries. We've hit quite a big cherry tree in the garden, and it's going to rain tomorrow apparently, so we needed to, and they've all just come right into the kind of ripe time right at the last 2 or 3 days. So I think we did about 7 kilos this evening.
Oh, wow, nice.
Into the freezer, for storage. And a few, we put the best ones in the fridge, but most of them in the freezer for jam and whatever other stuff. So, but yeah, that was tough weather. So straight into the shower afterwards, or I would be looking pretty bad on this episode. like Rich last week, maybe in the heat.
Yes, although I'm looking quite red now because it's gone quite warm again here, and we've had to close the back door because it's flying ant day outside.
It's what?
Flying ant day.
Oh, nice.
So the seagulls are extremely happy. They're like whirling around, wolfing down all these ants, and we've got every window in the house closed so they don't get in the house. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
The ants now, not the seagulls.
Yeah, there's lots of bugs flying around at the moment. Yeah. I was actually... I did a little bit of painting yesterday, and I'd been in the garden before, and I put on the magnifying glasses, and I had these tiny little miniature things on my hand just crawling around that you can't really see with the naked eye. I was like, ugh.
Well, I was out topping up the pond a little bit a couple of days ago, and did in bare feet because it was dry. I was like, just pop out in bare feet, and I wasn't out there more than 15 minutes maybe, and something bit me and my whole foot swelled up and was swollen up for 3 days. It's like, brilliant, thanks insects.
Oh my goodness.
I don't react well to insect bites, so
okay.
Yeah, I know it wasn't a spider because I've had my leg and my foot go black before now with spider bites.
Oh, Jesus.
So it wasn't a spider, but it was.
Okay,
it swelled up.
You have a genuine reason for being scared of spiders. Then you know we can't call you a. You can't call you a kind of a chicken or whatever for being scared of a spider. It's a genuine reason. You know, your leg goes black. Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never been like hospitalized or anything, but it just literally just goes black for a couple of days.
Must have been scary the first time, no?
It was a little bit. I was a bit blasé about it, and my wife was just like, "You need to go to the doctor." It's like, "Yeah, that'll be fine." She's like, "Seriously?" And then it started going down. So
I want to be a pirate. I want to be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a man. We're stupid when it comes to medical stuff. I'm just going to sit here and watch my leg go black.
Yeah, then I can really make a cool custom of myself. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's that time of year, but you've become a bit of a star now in our Patreon, Rich. Rich's Randoms is really taking off.
People do seem to be loving it, don't they? Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm having a great time doing it. It's really good fun.
Yeah, so we had our third episode drop this week. It was Sean Skvarna, who was kind of not really active in the community too much these days, so it was great to hear from him. He's just, it's not that he hasn't stopped collecting or anything, he's just got other things going on, you know, busy family life and all that. So it was great to get Sean with I called it the spreadsheet of doom this week. I'm gonna try and think of a different thing every week to describe it. And we've got 2 more episodes in the bag, so to speak. So coming in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to try and release them on our Patreon on Tuesdays. That seems to be a good day because there's people that have in the community that have episodes on Mondays and stuff like that. And maybe Tuesday morning is a good time for people to get a new.
Yeah, and they're nice short listens, 25-minute listens. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if
you want to be on it, if you want to hear them, join the Patreon, guys.
Exactly, and also cool. Yeah, for Tuesdays, maybe when people work from home, often they maybe try and do a Monday at home. So Tuesday might be commute day. So nice to have a little episode to listen to in the commute. And yeah, so all good. And we have a few more recordings coming up. Rich, what's the plan?
In terms of Rich's randoms now,
Yes.
we are going to go to a different time zone in America for the next lot.
Right.
So I haven't told anybody yet, other than one person who's in that time zone. So yeah, we have apparently most of our patrons live on the East Coast or in that time zone. So done a load of them first, and now we can move on to Central Time next. So
Excellent. What about the Europeans?
Jeez.
And
we only have one European, so we can fit him in whenever.
very good. Come on, Europeans. We need more. We need to see more of you in here.
We do. We really do.
So anyway, this week we've buried the lead, but this week is 3D Parts Week, and it's a bumper episode.
Buckle up, folks.
Yeah,
I think maybe it's a longer gap than we do normally.
possibly. Yeah, I think it
and
was
there's just
more,
loads of good stuff coming out.
Yeah, it was more just
Really,
scheduling. We
yeah.
could have probably done it last week, but we just juggled a bit, and we're here now. And shall we start then with the 3D parts?
Absolutely, let's go for it.
So we have Rich's wonderful presentation, but we also got a last minute edition. So this is outside of the presentation, but a little bit of an early reveal, sneak peek at some stuff that our friend Guion is working on with, I think, Gianluca. And,
Yes, Gianluca does his sculpting.
And Mark Calvo is working on the prints and stuff. So we have this guy. And it's who's this, Rich? You Guion sent us a little blurb on this guy.
I do indeed. So Gwawr Ddu is a name from the ancient Cymraeg poems and stories that are the true foundations of King Arthur. He fed black ravens on the ramparts of the stronghold, though he was not Arthur.
See why I asked Rich to read that? There was a few words in there now that would have tripped up a non Welsh familiar person, shall we say? So
Yeah, me and Gwion are already angry enough about the Sir Owain versus Sir Owain, so don't get us started on it.
We should probably describe this a little bit for those who can't see
yes,
it.
absolutely. Yeah. You go for it, Mal. Then.
Okay. So let's start with the shoulder pads. They are they stick out off the shoulder quite a decent amount, and they are feathers. Obviously, a reference to the raven. It did say ravens, didn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And then the helmet is like a metallic knight's helmet with a front face plate that is, again, I'm guessing designed to reference the raven of the story, and it has attachments that they're part of the helmet, but they're attachments again that look like wings sticking up though rather than back.
Yeah. Looks great, and a little bit of Game of Thrones vibes off this as well, which is not a bad thing, of course. And also the Raven thing, I think, matches in with Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that Gwion's doing with Gianluca is Game of Thrones inspired sort of thing. So yeah. This isn't, but obviously.
This is a couple of turns. It maybe explains why he's into that stuff as well, if it's kind of quite familiar or similar to some of the historical stuff in his region, which is really cool. And then we got this unhelmeted head, so a bearded head with a quite modern looking haircut almost, but quite cool as well. Fine head of hair on him. Make you guys jealous, I'd reckon.
I say if he was really cool, he wouldn't have hair, but there we go.
I think not so much in these pictures, but if you go back to the other picture, I feel like he's got Liam Neeson vibes about him.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Oh, I can see a bit of that. Yeah.
Maybe Gianluca has a little Liam Neeson kind of model in his sculpting library or whatever. Just
that's it. Just the face
on the Liam, and change the eyes a little bit, change the mouth. Boom. So
there'll
this
have to
is
be
cool.
a bio written now about the knight telling people how he has a particular set of skills.
So would you think there's some art relating to this guy? How he looked rich in the lore, or is this just an interpretation maybe from stories or whatever?
I'm thinking it's just an interpretation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool head sculpt though. Cool set. So you got the pauldrons,
cool.
the helmet, and the unhelmeted head. So you can obviously make him where he's wearing wearing the unhelmeted head, and he's got the helmet under his arm or something cool like that. Or you can just have a helmeted guy and an unhelmeted guy, maybe something like that. So
it's always, as you said, John, it's always fun to have the helmet under the arm. When it comes with two really good sculpts like that, then that's a very good way of displaying them both. A lot of my armory knights will look like that.
Yeah, exactly. Then you can of course change it up on the shelf from time to time and all that. So yeah, excellent. Those boys are bringing us the good stuff. Actually, I got a little delivery from Mark Calvo today, so I'm going to make myself big here. I got this guy, the miner.
So good,
isn't it? And it's got the little ponytail in the back, which is actually a separate piece.
That's good.
Which is good,
Nice.
Because I guess it would very easily break in transit otherwise. It's that type of a piece. So I'll see how I do that with regard to whether I glue it in after I paint it or leave it to, I think. Got this kind of witchy.
John, you're spoiling half the slides here, dude.
Sorry. But it's good. We've seen them then. Yeah. So she's cool. Gonna have to do another cosmic pig space hog.
I really want that one.
I had a feeling you might, yeah.
I really want that one. Yeah.
Really excellent in hand as well. There's so much detail on the sculpt and on the print. Mark has done a great job here with the print. Don't know if you can see it there, but it looks fantastic. It's going to be a blast to paint. Got this little tree dude. He's also
That's
great.
cool. Yeah.
That's a great head, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to do a Friar Tuck from Robin Hood, the Robin of Sherwood. He looks a bit angry for that Friar Tuck, but,
Yeah, that's a lovely sculpt too. I've got one of those painted up.
I think that type of a character anyway is cool. We got this guy that has the two beer things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
So they come in the little baggie. I got a couple of neck pegs as well.
Nice.
And,
neck pegs are always good.
Also, this fella.
Yes.
I love that print.
Snakes on a plane, Rich.
Oh, yeah. You know me, you can't have too many snakes.
Yeah.
Unless they're in my garden, in which case there's far too many snakes.
So that's what I got.
I was going to say, just talking about snakes, did Emil's Serpentor tribute that he showed
that
off
was
a couple
cool,
of
wasn't it?
days ago? I think it might be the best one he's ever done.
Yeah.
It's
Certainly up there. It's amazing.
Yeah, we'll have to do. I was actually asking in the Discord for what's people's favorite custom so far this year. I was more just trying to gauge opinion, kind of with. I'm trying to be. No, I have to say I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to kind of keep track a little bit for the end of year episode.
I've forgotten this year.
Not to scramble around.
Jesus Christ! It'd be my end of year show then, guys.
No, it's okay. You always deliver on that one. So
I do, yeah. I've got 44 pictures of my end of year customs board already.
But I wanted to see what people were feeling. So that one was definitely shouted out. There was another one or two emails as well. I just asked people what's their favorite custom they've seen this year. Whether it be in the groups or on Instagram or whatever. So there's been a couple of good shouts. So it was just more if I'd missed anything myself. People mentioned I could definitely go back and check, but I think that might be a good episode to do at some stage, even during the year, just as a kind of a
absolutely
one in between, because I think there will be ones that'll slip through the net, or that will, or that will kind of maybe by Legion's Con we'll have a little bit of recency bias, then by the end of the year, and it'd be good to do a little summer one as well. So that's an idea.
So, you two are screwed for that then so far, whereas I'm fine.
You'll have to give me a week or two's notice.
Shout out your favourite customs so far this year. You can even drop a link to them if you have them, or whatever. Drop a comment. You can send us a 3 kilometer long email to theearlylegionspodcast@gmail.com. I'd be very happy to read emails in there, and if it's good enough, we'll definitely shout you out in the show. If you have an idea for what you'd like to see us talk about, you can always drop it in there too.
Absolutely, yeah.
not that we're running out of ideas, it's just always good to have stuff in there.
Yeah, particularly if any passionate folk out there want an entire episode based around how bad House of the Noble Bear is. I'm happy to go down that route.
We could do that, Rich, whenever, You just need to come with your 20 reasons, and myself and Mal can argue.
Go to sleep while I run off.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe we don't have enough conflict on the show, so maybe that's a good way to generate it. Custom parts, May, June 2025. So we're over to Rich's wonderful presentation. We're going to start with Moe. You've seen the Witch's Hat one already. Tell us what we've got here, Rich.
Yeah, so basically it's female sculpt. One, she's wearing it's a female with short hair. One, she's wearing a witch's hat. One, she's got a hooded head. One without a hood, just a clear head. And then it also comes on the far right. There's a picture there of a little cloak. That's a separate piece that she comes with as well. So the little bow that ties around under her neck. Very good for like a Red Riding Hood type custom, I would imagine.
Yeah, that was when I saw that head, that was definitely the first thing I thought of as well.
Weirdly, and I don't know why, because the cape's not that. There's something in the back of my mind it reminds me of. I can't think what, but I thought of the thief character in Dungeons and Dragons, the animated one. That's what came to mind.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
As I say, it's not really like that, but that's what I thought about.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean now, man.
I really like that sculpt, though. All of them,
really cool,
all
yeah.
the versions.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Really cool. I'm looking forward to painting the one I have. See what we can. Any idea? What would you like to see? What way should I paint it? If I'm not going to make a full custom, what would you say?
The hat's got to be painted like the Irish flag, John. Surely.
That's quite a cool idea. Do it, do it like a bit like a female version of was it Shaniki?
Oh yeah,
that'd be quite cool. That.
Okay, challenge taken and accepted, and probably swearing at you guys as I try and do the different colors. Depends what way to do it, I suppose. Whether I do it, I suppose I have to do it vertically because that's the way the flag is. But that might suck.
Well, you could do it vertically and then just, or do it the other way and then just say she's drunk and has fallen over, and then it looks perfect. It should be lying there.
Her and Big Greg. You've seen the middle guy here already for my hogs.
So again, these next few slides are all mow away until we say something different. Some fabulous pigs. You got the one in the middle, fake Bebop, with the sideburns and the mohawk. One on the far right there is just a normal pig with his mouth closed, and then on the left you got a pig with his mouth open. But
yeah, some very nice, expressive pig faces here.
Absolutely, and I have a painted one already that the very lovely Mark Calvo threw in as a freebie with some stuff he painted for me.
Which one have you? Did you?
The open mouths are on the left.
Right. Yeah.
And what style?
Traditional pink pig colours.
Pink. Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. You got your cosmic pigs, John. I've got my mythic pigs.
There you go. We'll have to set up a battle.
Which I came up with an amazing name for, and I can't remember what it is now. I'll have to dig that out as the show goes on. And obviously, if you have the little pigs, you need a big bad wolf. So 3 wolf sculpts, a closed mouth looking really seriously pissed off, an open mouth like he's about to eat you, and then one with braided long hair, which I would never have thought of for a wolf in a million years, but actually it looks really cool.
I think that's my favourite one. The one with braids.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's like, I was going to say like a barbarian wolf, but obviously that's a terrible idea. But it does have those sort of vibes to it.
Yes. Yeah.
He's copying Atlas's hairstyle.
I think I want to get it and use it as the alternative sculpt. Because, I said I was thinking of getting a more serious sculpt for Wolfie.
Oh, for your cosmic
custom I did, yeah. I'm thinking one of these would be perfect for that. So
yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
one's going to be the one.
Looks good, and keep one to the side for Windaji the Cackler if you want to have an extra head for him.
Yes, definitely.
And then we have the dwarves you
Dwarves.
show, John. So humongous beards, I think it's fair to say. On two of these, it's like you'd be tripping over them. They're so long. And then it's basically different length beards, but the same facial sculpt. So one was wearing a helmet with a little candle in the front, which is the one you got, John, and one's just a bare head. But great details, like really, big braided beards and all that sort of thing. Very cool.
Yeah, it's the kind of sculpture you need to paint the beard first, I think, almost. Base the color around what you're going to do the beard, and then fill in everything else after it.
Yeah.
As a
your
non-painter,
favourite one of these,
would it not be really difficult to get the brush in into the face if you got all the beard done already?
No, it should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a smaller area as well, so you can
it might be worth doing it so that you kind of you just paint your highlights of your face and have a darker.
Anyway, when you're doing the face, you want to. If you're doing the face first, you'd have to do it in a way that you haven't a really complicated mix of colors, because if you manage to splodge a bit of the beard color on, you have to paint over it.
Gotcha. Yeah,
you've got a nightmare in your hands there. So it's a question of what's the easiest. I always work from the point of view is what's the easiest to fix, and I do that kind of last. So sometimes it's do the skin tone into the beard, and that might be easier to fix. And sometimes it's maybe the skin tone is easier to fix, or the helmet's easier to fix. Metallic stuff's always easier to fix. So I normally always do that last.
That makes sense. But in answer to your question, John, my favourite one is him wearing the hat but with a shorter beard.
Good, that's the one I got. Yeah, that was my favourite too.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's something about the really long beard that
there is, but there's a little practical part of me that just goes, it's just slightly, this is heavy. I mean, guys, this is properly heavy piece of resin. And it almost feels ogre scale, Now, I know it's perfect for a dwarf because, dwarves are stocky and big, so that's going to work great. But I think you could nearly stick it on an ogre scale and get away with it. It's that kind of a thing. Right. Oh my goodness. Hanging eyeballs. So zombies.
Yeah. Zombies on the left. Now I think these came out for the last show, but we only had a very small picture sent. And so I put them in more detail here. These are amazing zombie sculpts and will work so well with the undead builder. So you've got one with a zombie with his eye hanging out, still attached though. I love that in a zombie. You can't get enough of those sort of things, quite frankly. I've got an orc from Planetary Dog Toys with that. I got a couple other things with that. You then got just a generic zombie face. You got one where he's shouting because he's really angry. And then you got one with him sticking his tongue out. Now, I'm not sure if this is a zombie that licks you rather than bites you, but I'm going to guess that's probably what it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I'd imagine if you did that tongue green or something, or it would look quite intimidating.
I'm actually rewatching 28 Days Later because I want to watch the two films before the new one comes out, the 28 Years Later. Yeah, it's good, even though and I remember liking it at the time, and I don't think I've seen it since. But it looks old,
Some of them do, don't they?
Yeah. But that was one of the first zombie things I ever saw, and it's quite scary.
Well, I think I've said, haven't I? I'm absolutely fine with zombie films unless they're moving fast. Then I have a real issue with zombie films. So I will watch 28 Years Later, but from behind the sofa, probably.
Yeah, because the virus, they call it the rage virus. That just means fast to me.
Yeah.
Right, and we got some...
and then we've got saber-toothed cat.
Saber-toothed cat, right.
Yeah, on the right there. And again, the way Moe does it, he does lots of different variations of the same thing. So open mouth, slight open mouth, closed mouth. And there's one even without the saber-tooth elements to it as well.
Yeah, I think someone that sells, the sculpts for 2 printers, basically. That's his business model for the most part. I think that's a cool way of doing it, where you have a bunch of different expressions, and then the printers can
absolutely.
decide what they want to print within the package.
Yeah, and I'll definitely be getting one of these. Hope I'll pick up a painted one at Legion's Con.
Yeah.
Because I love the big cat side of things.
And you want the zombie with the eyeball hanging out, I suppose.
Obviously.
Yeah. And the one with the tongue as well.
Yeah. Knowing me, I'll come back with a painted one of each, all 4 or something like that. But at least I'm going, okay.
So if you've got these, or you're going to print these, or whatever, you're going to bring painted ones to Legion's Con, just to wink at Rich, and you've got a sale.
You might get something else if you start winking at me, but okay.
Andy Lee.
Is that how you pronounce it? Thank you, John.
I'm going to say that, yeah. I'm just ignoring a couple of letters there, but yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's him that actually designs these sculpts, or whether he does it in conjunction with Blackbeard Tatch, who's another guy that obviously sculpts stuff. It's not quite clear on pictures. But they're available from Corey Schwarzenhofer. If you wanted a printed version, he seems to do all of Andy's stuff.
He's a very cool one.
Yeah. So first up, we have a red panda. So it's designed for a 2.0 body because it's a little thing. But you got the feet, you got hands/wrists, a fur neck piece, and then the really cute red panda head, and then there's a big old tail behind it as well. So it's a really cool set. And then we have some dwarves. So I really like these guys. Again, there's feet, there's hands, there's braces, wrist braces, there's pauldrons, heads, weapons, everything here. So you got a dwarf wearing like a Viking style helmet. I mean, in theory, you could probably use that as a human Viking as well, I think.
Because don't tell Anthony, though.
The beard's not braided, so again, that would help for that. And then it's got like a cloth piece, or it could be a hair piece coming up through the middle of the helmet and then flowing backwards. Ram's horn pauldrons as well to go with it. And then it comes, that's the left picture. The middle picture shows him with one of the weapons. So it's a really cool looking hammer. It's got like a shorter end and a big bit to bring some proper heft as you're swinging it. And then again, it shows that picture also shows the wrist gauntlets as well. So you've got like almost strapping, almost like a weapon type thing on the gauntlets there. And then, quite frankly, a fabulous shield on the far right there of just a really grumpy looking. I mean, that's a dwarf shield. That's a really grumpy looking dwarf on the face of that shield.
Yeah, you'd be scared if that was coming towards you, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
Yeah, this is just a great character that you can do a lot with.
Yeah.
I think this is something you'd like, Mal.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not all the parts, but I like the head and those braces are interesting, as well as sort of the hammer and the. Is it an axe? It's an axe, isn't it? And the shield. The shield's very, very cool. I might have to try and get hold of that at some point.
Yeah, Corey's your man. And then there's another dwarf here. It's like a king dwarf. So you got the crown, massive beard. You got what appears to be dragon or serpent pauldrons. I really like those. They stick quite a bit out at the top, which is really cool. It comes with a big hammer, but it's a one-handed hammer. And I think with a lot of...
Is it not meant to be like a bird, maybe?
Oh, I can see maybe that.
Looks like a beak, and then if you look on the one on the right as we look at it, almost looks like it's a feathery chest coming out of the pauldron, doesn't it?
Oh, maybe. So it could be a dragon, a bird, serpent, anything like that.
A phoenix of some sort.
Could be, yeah. But they're huge pauldrons and very cool. And then, the one-handed hammer as well. And I've seen Blaze paint this head up as well, and it comes out really well painted up. So it's a good piece.
Because Blaze painted it.
Well, admittedly, Blaze is a brilliant painter, but...
But it's possible, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Even if a very good painter makes a good job of it, it means it is possible,
Yeah.
Now, if you see someone that is maybe self-confessed not the best painter and does a good job, then you have to get really excited about the sculpt. But there's definitely a lot of potential here. It's difficult, I think, one to paint again. Big beard, face, crown, but it's doable.
Yeah, and we've got quite a few. I know one of the Von Box packs had a dwarf a king head. I know Jason has done one as well. So you could have like a little gathering of dwarven kings in your Mythic Legion setup with all these different people doing
So
that.
how was the one in the Von Box painted then? Was it a fairly simple scheme, or how does...
I got unpainted, so I don't know how
Okay.
he actually painted that. I've not seen a painted version of it yet.
Oh, I thought you got the painted Von Box.
No, I get the unpainted stuff now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a control freak in any way with the painting, but I just thought, no, do you know what? I'll get them and then I can decide what I want
You can
to do.
decide, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And if then there was a sculpture you weren't a huge fan of, you could probably more easily shift it.
Basically, there will be a few for sale on our table at LegionsCon if people want some of the retired, can't get them anywhere else, Von Box sculpts.
Oh, retired, can't get them anywhere else, says scalper prices to me.
No, I wouldn't even charge what they cost me. I just want to get rid. So.
Wow. Well, you've heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
He's a new man.
I have a misleading reputation as a scalper. Shame on you, John.
I know.
I love all
It's
three
just because
of
you're so
these.
honest that you get it.
Yeah, I
These
agree
are
with you,
cool.
Mal. These are fabulous ones.
These
Yeah,
are cool.
yeah. So they're not available to buy any of these yet, but Gianluca...
What?
They will be very shortly.
They
Dwarf
will?
Lord-
Okay.
Yeah, Dwarf Lord Toy Design normally regularly updates their site, but I checked a couple of days ago and they weren't on there then. But Gianluca, who's a brilliant sculptor, worked with Guion, who's worked with us for stuff you haven't seen yet. And he does a lot of Dwarf Lord Toy Design, so he just put these out as a coming soon sort of thing. So on the left, you've got a human, maybe undead human, as the teeth and the gums are exposed, wearing like some sort of leather mask, and it's really quite terrifying. It's the sort of thing you'd see in a horror film.
Yeah. Looks so cool, though.
It looks amazing, absolutely amazing.
This could fit with Cosmic or Mythic, I think.
Oh, yes, 100%.
100%.
I think
definitely.
all three of them could.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Well, except the middle one because it's a human. But yeah, there we go.
I
he paints in blue.
I
he's
heard
fine.
I heard a rumor you might have a human in your Cosmic collection.
Well, they're not originally from Cosmerium. They just found their way there.
He's going to be a dwarf, isn't it? Rather than a human.
I think it probably will be. I think it would work fine as a barbarian.
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah,
But there is a decent
size.
sized hooter on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's wearing a skull hat. It's a pretty big one, so it could be something like a big gorilla or even an ogre or something like that, potentially. And then a braided beard, but it's a really good sculpt.
Yes.
And then one on the right is a gorilla wearing a skull helmet, which is so cool. The gorilla features are really good. He's very angry. There's like rope holding the bits of the skull together, which suggests it's not big enough to go around his head without the rope. It's such a detailed sculpt. It's amazing.
It's excellent.
Yeah, I have a kind of a test for how good a sculpt is when I kind of get this itchy fingers to get a paintbrush in my hands. That's when I know the sculpt
Okay.
is really
Yeah.
good, These are great. Blackbeard Tatch, then.
Yes. So he used to call himself Blackforge Studios, so people might have heard about that name, but everything he's done recently seems to be Blackbeard Tatch. So this is some Japanese styled things. So you got Japanese styled demons, Oni masks, that sort of thing. So you got the giant long nose. I can't remember what they're called, but there's one of those. There's a couple of actual demons with the horns coming out and that sort of thing. If you looked at these instantly, you go, that's a Far East sort of thing and Japanese folklore. There's the one I personally love the most is the bottom right one with the giant helmet. That sounds rude, but he's got really tall helmet coming off his head, and then it could be a mask or it could be just like flesh underneath it, sort of thing. But it's got the ties on it as well. It's a really nice sculpt, and then the one directly above it as well, which looks almost like
that one. Yeah.
almost like a witch doctor feel sort of thing I get from it. It's got that
It sort of
sort of look
reminds
to
me
it.
of- It reminds me of like Dalsim, but then turned into a sort of a East Asian style and demonic as well with it.
Yeah, but really cool set of heads. I will definitely be looking for a couple of these come LegionsCon. And again, with all Blackbeard Tatch stuff, you can normally pick it up from quite a few of the different retailers. Some people obviously do their own, but yeah, with Blackbeard Tatch and that, unless it's an exclusive, you can get it from all the sort of people that do multiple designers stuff. And then if you look on the right first, so there was also a giant dad bod torso that comes with it, a big old fat torso.
I feel observed.
I definitely do. And then a Japanese club weapon that was also an option. And then on the left, this is Mark Field, a UK printer and painter, and he printed some out and put them on a torso. So I thought I'd get those in there so we can see what they actually look like when they're sat on a figure. And looking at those now, I think I'm on all 6. So that's probably a bad thing that I then put them there.
I like them much better in the printed pictures. Amazing. I would have just glanced over the other ones. Maybe it's the glossiness just because of...
The render, it does give it a very glossy look, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, you can get a program to change all that. So maybe... Like free, you can get these free STL viewers where you can, change the colors and the look. And maybe should do that because it doesn't look great in the render compared to the print.
Yeah, the
print
print
are great
incredible.
sculpts.
They're fabulous sculpts.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. Yeah, I'm going to need at least 3 of those. God damn it.
And Borderland Horde has gone skull crazy.
They have. It's almost like there's an undead set of figures come out recently. But God bless them. They've gone
blokes.
They've gone skeletons and they've gone dinosaurs. I love those guys. This is how you do it. So on the left-hand side, we have a pterodon skull. So for those that know they're dinosaurs, one of the flying dinosaurs, it's not a pterodactyl, it's a pterodon, but very similar sort of things. I probably insulted somebody now who's a paleontologist and listens.
Nerd alert.
Yeah, but there's a skull there. On the bottom there, you have my personal favorite dinosaur, the Triceratops. You have a Triceratops skull.
Oh my God, that's my favorite as well. We have something in common at last.
Yeah, at last. Unfortunately, it's not our golf ability.
I have my little trophy there beside the...
I know, yes. Well played, sir. I saw you score. That was cracking.
Well, whatever. This is a blue moon every once in a while.
And then in the top middle, you have a Spinosaurus skull. That's very, very cool. I really like that.
I love the way they're a little bit battle damaged as well, or something.
Yes. Yeah, with the teeth and that, you can see it, can't you? Yeah. And then on the far right, obviously you can't have a Triceratops without having a T-Rex. So on the far right, there's a T-Rex as well. And the T-Rex one's amazing. I didn't get the full-on side view because I thought this was a better one. But the full-on side view's got every single tooth. It's insane, all these big, jagged teeth.
Wow.
Really great sculpt.
I would say you can't have dinosaurs without a T-Rex, let's be honest.
You'd struggle, yeah. No, so... and then, again, Borderland Horde again. I'm not sure if they've got this for sale yet or not, but Gianluca put it up. And it's another one of their... oh, God, what are they called?
Panthers?
Companions.
Companions, thank you, Mal. And this is an Oriental-themed companion. So he's got Oriental-styled armor. He's got the cool face masks with the tusks coming out of it. Got a couple of swords, probably katanas or something on the top there. Really lovely piece. Really lovely.
I saw, it probably wasn't this sculpt, but it was similar. Someone, they had painted it maybe black. With the armor.
Yes, they've done another big cat one. So,
okay.
Yeah. Have you guys had to go and paint any of the companion things yet?
The frog.
The frog, of course you did, yeah.
Yeah. I did one of those. I did it bright green with the red eyes, whatever those type of frogs are called.
They are tree frogs.
Tree frogs, there you go. So there'd be a tree frog.
Dropping the knowledge bombs tonight. Here we go.
At Leighton's Con. There you go. Super cool pieces though, yeah. Lots of if you just wanted a painting project that was going to take you a while, if you wanted to do it nicely, these are great.
Yeah.
Just take your time, do bit of, prime it first and then just do a bit at a time and enjoy it. I think it'd be great. Jason Rodriguez, then he's been a busy bunny.
He has. And this set is, as Mal said, this set is
He's out with a fishing rod for is it
Yeah,
Richard
yeah.
Jones. Let's put that on the hook.
Yeah, and you basically got, and I'm gone off the side of the screen. Yeah. He's done mer creatures / frogs / amphibians / awesome stuff.
Don't think I'd seen the pufferfish hammer. That's incredible. I love that.
Isn't it good? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got 4 different. So he started doing, and a few people do this now, where it's the head and torso combo, which I think is a really good idea because sometimes the heads don't, you have to blue tack them on or whatever sort of thing. So you got one which is first one on the top left there is a fish with big barbels hanging down off its mouth and the fin across the top of its head. Next to you got an anglerfish, giant teeth, the little dangly thing that attracts its prey with.
That's going to show off my fish knowledge. I think most of the types of fish that have the little dangly things are usually sorts of types of catfish, aren't they?
Catfish
More
have
like
the barbels,
whiskers.
certainly. So, yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
And underneath that, you have a really evil-looking amphibian toad type thing with massive, massive teeth, like horns going, which I think makes you think it's a toad because there is
Horn
a type of toad
toad
with like
is what,
horn.
what came to mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually called a horn toad. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, there is a horn toad.
Oh, look at Mal dropping. Seriously, we're smashing it between us
I
now.
couldn't
on
let
the,
you
natural history stuff.
have
Here
all
we
the
go. And then
horns and toads.
yeah. And then on the right of that, there's a frog head. No torso with this one, just a head, but it's still very cool. And then it comes
I
with a
think
weapon
you could
set
stick
as well.
that on the other torso, no?
I think the torso's connected.
Oh, you think it's all one
I think
piece?
it's printed all as one piece. Yeah.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but I think it is. And then on the left-hand side, as Mal already said, there's a spiked hammer, but it's a pufferfish, which is just incredible. So you've got this little pufferfish face, and all its spikes are inflated.
Until Mal said about it, I was so distracted by these big things in the middle that I hadn't seen it, and it's amazing. Yeah.
And you two laughed when I suggested a pufferfish head as a warrior. But look, if it works on a hammer, it'll work on a warrior.
Agreed, yeah. I stand corrected happily.
Then there's an amazing trident in there. Fish people need their tridents. Very intricate sort of prongs
What's
on
this
that.
thing on the far right in the middle?
That's a shield. And I think
it's like
it's
a shell kind of a thing.
It's like a shellfish, whatever type of thing it is, sort of thing. Yeah.
And these are all very organic looking now. So if you like your, your dry brushing and your contrast paints and all that, these are going to work really well with that kind of stuff.
And then the crossbow thing, I've seen someone put it, I'm not sure if it's designed for, but I've seen someone put it on an arm, so underneath a bracer. So you can just fire it like that, which is very cool as well.
Yeah.
So a great set. And then as the bonus parts, he really went berserk. Like full on, all singing, all dancing bonkers.
Absolutely bonkers.
And he did a scorpion person. And I've checked a couple of sites like Dust Till Dawn do all these bits separate. So you can buy it as one, I'm presuming probably for a little bit of a reduction, but you can also buy all the things separately. So it's got the big scorpion pinching hands, which I'm going to have to get some of because they're amazing. Cool.
And most importantly, they're not pegs that go into the wrists. They go into they're like holes that go into the peg of the second arm piece.
The second bit, yeah.
That makes it much easier.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, if you were trying to plug them into the first bit, it would be just an absolute nightmare. Yeah. So you've got an imagining of a humanoid, anthropomorphic scorpion head with the little antenna thing sticking out. You've got the torso, amazing pauldrons, and then you have the scorpion tail with a sting on the end. And that's a separate piece, but then there's also a full-on scorpion body if you wanted to. So on the right-hand side, for those looking, this is what it looks like as a scorpion with some orc arms. And then on the left there, you can see with the scorpion tail, the torso, the pinchers and all that sort of stuff, but just on 1.0. Normal legs.
How do you connect the body to the scorpion lower half?
That's a very good question I don't know the answer for.
Okay.
Let me have a look. I might be later on in the show when I find it, but yeah.
Okay.
I know where to look.
Very cool.
Let me have a look.
Almost a complete figure here with just a few parts,
Yeah, again, if you want a painting project, then if you go full Scorpion, that's going to give you
lower half, especially, is a huge piece. Yeah. These are the parts, the puffer, the fish parts and the frog parts printed.
Printed out, yes. Again, I thought it'd be quite useful to see them printed out.
And these are from who did those prints then?
This is Rocket Fist Customs did these prints. Because he sells on eBay and that sort of stuff. So again, you can see
the top two here are really looking good.
They are, aren't they? I really like the really nasty one, the bottom right as well, with all those teeth.
Yeah.
It's like a bog goblin or a hellfire goblin's evil twin. It's just like,
And then the top left one is what, that kind of anglerfish, is it?
Yes.
And the top right one is the right one on the top left is the cat one.
Yeah, if it is a catfish, and it might not be a catfish.
Well, yeah.
No, it is. It could be like a Wells catfish, maybe, looking at the type of face and everything. And I'm getting a bit geeky at that point.
So
who knows what that looks like?
So
I do, unfortunately.
Would you have a tank full of the?
I've got the answer.
Wells catfish get to 10 foot long, so I definitely haven't got a tank full of them.
So I've got the answer to the torso fitting on the Scorpion body. It looks like as part of the mold, the mold, or if you want to call it. It's got a peg. It's got a bull peg thing, like reminiscent of on the
skirt and the rules there, maybe.
That'd be quite cool. Yeah,
possibly. Yeah, it could be a bit touch and go with the Horseman's rules. But the picture on the right again shows that you could just do the Scorpion bottom and then just show your own Mythic parts on top. If it was fully skeleton, for instance, you could have just a skeleton.
What people might have done with the NECA Alien Queen, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, they've certainly done that with the Alien Snake, where they've taken the tail off or the bottom part off,
and I've
painted
seen it
it
with
bone, and then
Alien Queen with it has the load of legs, almost like a spider.
Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, awesome pieces. Well done, Jason. And then he's put out this amazing cosmic head pack. And I've been saying for a little while now, it's like, no, focus on Mythics for a little bit. You got too many cosmic stuff at the moment. And then he puts this out, and there's at least 3 of these that I absolutely have to own.
As well.
Mal's grinning from ear to ear.
There's a couple in here I quite like.
Well then, Mal, which ones do you like? You talk us through it.
Top left, which I think's based on some sort of Predator design, isn't it? Not Predator design, we might say.
There's like an eye thing coming down over one of the eyes.
It's got a visor, and it's got if you see it up close, it's got the same sort of face with the teeth going up and down. And then the one under that's kind of a cat or a fox, but helmet on. And I think they're my 2 that I really like. How about you?
I really like the bottom in the middle is one of the bad guys from
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element, yeah. So as soon as I saw that, it's like, well, I know the Horsemen do frown slightly on IP infringements and that, but I'm still going to have to get that head because that's awesome. And I also really like the second from the top on the right. It's got like a weird robot, but with like a that comes up almost, and the spiky things on the side.
Yeah,
it gives a real retro feel. I really like the look of that one. What about you, John? Anything of these jump out at you?
Sorry, I love the kind of fox. I don't know, was it kind of a fox in a helmet here or whatever? The second one from
I'm not sure
if
it's a cat or a fox, but it works for either, doesn't it?
Yeah. The Mer guy here on the third down on the right.
On the right, yeah, that's a lovely sculpt as well.
That's really cool. And then the bottom left. The whole bottom row actually is cool, full of aliens.
Yeah, I could quite easily see myself at some point in the future having virtually all of these painted up. And on Cosmics, there's such a great range. You've got the helmeted, you've got the robots, you've got weird looking aliens. Yeah, just absolutely love this set.
Yeah, I mean, can't wait for the Oxcrew Wave, that's next up, isn't it?
It is next up. Yeah.
And
so excited.
Maybe a Cosmic Wave announcement coming soon as well. That would be exciting, wouldn't it?
That would be good. That would be very
Get
good.
One of those in before Legion's Con. Could definitely be down for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, and speaking of cosmic again, some cosmic
Yes,
weapons.
again, part of the same set. There's some weapons. So, again, I think the top left is from Fifth Element. It looks very suspiciously like one of their weapons. And it's just like a rifle, but a one-hand hold sort of rifle. Top right, you've got a pistol with 2 barrels. Then you've got a really long rifle in the middle, and then a rifle almost with a blade on it in the bottom there. And on pictures on the right-hand side are printed up ones that Anthony from Noble Bear did. So again, I thought it'd be quite useful to see them printed up and a figure holding them.
Again, very cool. I need more weapons. I always forget to pick up weapons.
I think that really does bring a cosmic custom together. You know, I actually have a bunch of cosmic customs that I could do with. Maybe if I can get my hands on a couple of these weapons before Legion's Con, maybe paint them up and then just add them to the custom. You know, why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or just leave them there and say if you want to get the custom, pick a weapon. You know.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then lastly, from the same set as the bonus thing is a little craft. So that you can create your own little flying craft with 2 double-barreled guns at the front. There's a little wing set, a seat. It's, extremely cool.
These guys are getting super creative, huh?
They are. Uh-huh. They really are.
Yeah. Okay, Jay's Armory.
Yeah, so this is a new one. So I think you guys might have been as well. Who was it? It was Ryan Anthony was going around. I think it was Ryan. I apologize if it wasn't. No, or was it is? Somebody was going around giving out swords that Jay's Armory had produced because he couldn't be there himself.
Yeah, I think it was his.
Yeah. Going around giving them out, just as freebies sort of thing. And apparently he had an Etsy store, but he put a post up the other day saying, I've actually got a proper website now as well. So I clicked on it and there's some really, really cool stuff there.
Yeah. I like.
So if you want to find the website, despite being Jay's Armory, it's onepercase.com, the website. And he's got some exclusive heads. So these next couple of slides are all the exclusives he does. So you have a skull with a beard. Who doesn't love a skull with a beard? You have a skull with a beard wearing a cowboy hat, or it could be like a Crocodile Dundee hunter hat with the little teeth, shark teeth around the rim there. And there's also a skull with a beard with a baseball cap on the website. I didn't put a picture of that in. But if you wanted that in cosmic maybe, then that's an option as well. These are all designed by somebody called J. Syrian 3D. I've never heard of that sculptor, but he's the one that's done all these. Bottom left, there is a cosmic head. It's like a helmeted, I guess meant to be like a pilot type thing, with a breathing mask at the front, bubble tubes going up the side. Really cool design, almost like an egg shape. In the middle there is a head that I think was originally either meant to be, or the original sculptor was designed for G.I. Joe, one of the like Saw Viper or something like that from G.I. Joe. But now they've done it that you can have it for Mythics as well. It's got like a cloth mask covering the nose and mouth. But then there's sorry, Mal, go.
No, I was just going to say I really, really like that one. I think it looks really cool.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah. And then there's like the bottom part of a skull sort of thing underneath his chin, and then a mask on the top as if you could pull it down. So really cool sculpt. And then on the far right, then you've got a cephalopod, a space cephalopod, because he's got a breather and everything. And this is an ogre scale print. So it's got it on a Decebalus in this particular picture. So there's some really cool little things in there that, again, you can't get anywhere else. So I thought it was definitely worth flagging these up.
Yeah, very cool.
And then again, these are exclusives, but these are designed by Old Skull Customs 00. So at the top left there, you've got a male elf. You can get it in 1.0 or 2.0, which I think is really cool. I quite like my 1.0 elves. I know traditionally they're thin and lithe and that sort of stuff, but there's something about the big bulky elves. Across from him on the right, you've got a brute scale head. It's like a big old, it's like a furry demon. I think I describe it as. There's lots of fur going on, 2 massive horns sticking out the side, big teeth, very cool sculpt. If you've got a spare Tharnog or any of the other Brute characters and you want to use that, then there you go. On the right-hand side, we have a couple of 2.0 sculpts. You have a female vampire on the top right there. Long hair, got a mask covering her eyes and a sort of crowny type helmet going on there. And then underneath that, there is a female elf with dreads tied up. And a big pointy ears. She looks very cool. And then, much to my delight, there is a hedgehog. And this hedgehog looks awesome. It's cute little hedgehog face, massive quills, but they're sort of laid flat, almost like it's the hairstyle sort of thing. On this picture, it's on a 2.0 body. Love that. And then these are non-exclusives, but these are things that I've either seen before once briefly and then not seen again, or I just really like them. So I thought I'd put a slide full of these in. So these are all old skull custom 00. Again, there is a Japanese bird samurai thing on the top left there. It's got an open mouth beak, wearing a cool round, like an Ashigari hat. Very cool indeed. A few people have done the Olmec type Mesoamerican sculpts. You've probably seen various ones of those, but he's done 2 undead ones. So you've got like a zombie one in the middle left there, with a bit of the skull missing and some flesh missing, and then you've got a full-on undead one next to him there. Mal, were you about to come in at this point? Did I see you about to say something?
No, I was just going to say, I think the bird is based on, I think there's a yokai that has that sort of appearance. I think that's what that might be based on.
Cool.
Or it rings a bell, so maybe it's something out of an animation, but I'm sure it's a yokai.
Excellent. The 3 on the bottom row, they've described as space monkeys. It's basically like a sea creature monkey type face.
Sea monkey.
Sea monkey. Of course it is. It's a sea monkey, yes. With weird little antenna things sticking out of the head and like sea creature type facial features on the side there.
They're really
and then
cool. I really like
they're good, aren't they? Yeah. I've not seen these like in person anywhere. So if anyone wants to, have these at Legion's Con, well done. And then the one next to it, again, very similar thing, but they're the antenna things are intertwined. Maybe the little crown thing going on there. And then the vampire next to it is a close imitation, let us say, of Blade 2 and the vampires from that, where their mouths open wide and the sort of tongue comes out and stabs people. But very cool, again. Gives you something a bit different for the vampire
Nightmare
ranks.
fuel.
It is nightmare fuel. You then have an undead something. It could be human, could be a dwarf, who knows what. But yeah, it's like a zombie thing, but still with a big beard. And then there's just loads of spikes coming out the top of its head of various lengths. It's not a crown. It's just like there are things just protruding from its head. So it's like possessed or something like. It's a very creepy sculpt, but very cool. I really like that. Top right, you have something. I've seen it painted up and matched on a Ninian infantry figure. Worked really, really well. And I think it's meant to be on a Basque legend. I know Old Skull. I keep calling them Old School. Old Skull Customs did a set based on Basque mythology and crypto and that sort of stuff. Cryptid and that sort of stuff. So that's there. And then again, another Japanese, I think it's a Tenku warrior or something with the giant noses. And that guy's wearing the mask with the giant nose sticking out.
Yeah, I don't think the Basques were trading crypto back in those days.
No, I think it was cryptid rather than crypto, but you never know.
Yeah, maybe they were ahead of their time.
Exactly. And then we have some Old Skull Custom 00 stuff himself. So again, you can pick these up from a few different places. We have a zombie orc on the left-hand side. Really like that. There's a broken teeth. There's part of the flesh missing. That's really cool. On the far right, you have a zombie ogre. So the whole bottom jaw is just like split in half and the tongue's dangling down.
Oh.
Very cool.
Isn't it, that one?
And there's an eyeball coming out. The left eyeball is dangling out as well, sort of thing. So
God.
really good. Really like that.
Really
I would
good.
absolutely, I'm definitely trying to get that. And then underneath that, in the bottom right, you have an ogre king with a helmet. This is similar to one of the ones we showed last time, but these came out after that. So again, just an ogre with massive lower tusks and a horned helmet. The middle is another ogre, again, big tusks, but with like a helmet with big sticking out horns on the side. And then you have an orc warrior, and it's meant to be a female orc warrior, and she's wearing a skull mask. Looks like it could be a bovine mask of some type, but it's the skull sort of thing. And then there's an unhelmeted version as well, but we've seen that one before. And then the way Old Skull Customs does it, he does sets of stuff. So those are the orcs and the ogres from the previous set. And he's been doing undead knights and that sort of thing this last month. So on the left-hand side, you've got a couple of different dead knights with the chainmail and the helmets. One, I was going to say fairly standard. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's a fabulous sculpt. But one, what you'd expect sort of thing. And then the one where the whole bottom jaw is just missing, which I think is really cool. So you've got the chainmail, you've got the helmet, and then there's just the upper jaw, the upper face rather, left. The teeth and the nose socket and everything, and the rest is gone. And then you've got a couple of different variations of something he's calling the Plague Knights. So it's a play on a plague doctor sort of look, but in a knight form and decayed and that sort of thing. So there's the two sort of vacant looking eyes on the helmet, and then there's a really long face covering bit, ends in a point. You've got a generic one, and then you've got one that's gone fully plague, cursed sort of one with things coming out, horn coming out of one side and something crawling out of one of the eye sockets and that sort of stuff. It's Nurgle. It's a Nurgle knight.
Sleep well tonight, Mal.
Then you have
head with the sword in it. Lovely.
Yes, I do like that. I really like this, actually. I'd like to see someone paint one up and put on a figure because it looks amazing, but I'm not sure how it'd actually work on a figure and whether it would make sense, sort of thing. So there's a knight's helmet with a sword sticking out the top of it. And then there's a really weird one, and I have no idea how you'd make this work, with the knight's helmet with a sword sticking through it, but the sword has also skewered a skull. That's very strange.
Where's the rest of the sword, though?
Maybe that snapped off during the
to get your tetanus injection then.
Yeah. This would have to be like properly rusted up and that sort of thing if you're going to paint one of these. The middle two, I'm personally not that bothered about, but it's almost like skull. It's almost like cosmic type skull masks. Yeah. It's like Ghost Rider type skull sort of stuff.
They're kind of cool, but they're a bit confusing because I feel like there's almost do I mean a Roman? I think I mean a Greek vibe. I'm not sure what vibe about the top one, like helmet, but then. You could just see it painted metal, couldn't you? And it's a robotic skull-looking head, and like you say, the one below it is it's might as well be Ghost Rider.
It may as well be with the flames coming out from the side. Absolutely, yeah. And then on the top right, again, a zombie or a skeleton head with a horned helmet, but it's also got like the side of the face guards as well, which you don't often get with this sort of thing. So I really like that.
Kind of Viking vibes off this one, maybe.
You could easily use it as a Viking, absolutely, yeah. Right then, and now we're on to Headhunter Customs. So this is Joel. We don't often show a lot of his stuff, but there's a few little bits. The fat dwarf torso, Mal, you spotted that, didn't you? I think, and flagged that up. It's
very cool.
It's very cool. It's like a cloth torso with buttons down the front, and just
I see myself getting a couple of them because it'd work in Cosmic or Mythic.
Yeah, absolutely. And because it's dwarf, it'd be squished down that little bit as well to help with the height stuff. Yeah. In the middle two pictures, then blue for those looking at the screen. There's something basically. I think it's like a Warhammer riff. So there's like a space wolf helmet on the top there, and then there's like a Warhammer priest type helmet on the bottom there with big things sticking up, almost like Sauron type spikes coming up from the top.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. The top right is bonkers. I'm presuming it's from a property, but I don't recognize it. It's two dragon type thin heads on one neck. It's on a cosmic body here. I'm not sure if that's meant to signify where it's from originally. I'd love to see a painted version of this. I can't, at the moment, I can't see how you could use that and it would look mythic enough. It might work better with cosmics, but I'd love to see a painted version of that. And then on the bottom there it's a goblin shark. Fine, seen goblin sharks before, but this is designed for Kragnar. So the holes at the back of the head to fit on with the Kragnar body and the lean forward.
Look cool.
That would look really good on any of the sort of Kragnar type builds, sort of thing.
Put it on, if you could find someone who could paint it to match a Rakagor, that kind of bluey,
yes, that bluey, absolutely,
silvery blue, whatever, that looked very cool.
Yeah. So that's Headhunter Customs. He's got loads and loads of stuff. Some of it is clearly, and he makes no bones about it, modelled on IP stuff, but there's some really cool original stuff in there as well. He's got an amazing one, and I'm not sure if I've shown it before or not, which is a Terminator crossed, T100 crossed with a Predator. So you can tell it's a Predator mask, but there's obviously the big eye like a Terminator and a little bit of like skull sort of thing, like a robotic skull. It's very cool. This is Action Figure Fusion. Doesn't put out as much stuff as he used to, but again, you can find it at places like Dustle Dawn Studios and Blue Inferno Figures and that sort of stuff. And he did a Genghis Khan style set for the last show that we did, and then he's done a second Mongol warrior. So a couple of different head sculpts, one with the helmet, really cool looking helmet, one without. You've got a really cool double-ended staff weapon. So you've got the big curved blade at one end and then like a stabbing halberd type blade at the other end. Torso, legs, feet, bracers, pauldron, shield, the whole sort of works. He always does these full sets. So that's a very cool set. Again, I'd love to see some of these things painted up. If there's one of these painted up at Legion's Con that looks really cool, you two might have to drag me away. It's that sort of thing.
Rich,
so
how can I drag you? You just turn up at the table with like a bubble wrap in your hand full of stuff.
I was like, better last year.
I don't get the chance to drag it. Yeah, it's true. I remember that corner we were in the year before where it was just a constant stream of you coming with like 2 hands full of bubble wrap stuff.
Yes.
And Mal was like, again. And I was like, huh? Because it was our first time selling there, so I was very much kind of trying to, pay attention to what I was doing, and you just kept turning up with stuff.
And I was
set ahead, and you would just shoot off to spend the cash before it burnt a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, I got carried away that year. It's fair to say. Last year was much better.
Yeah.
So see if I can keep going down that route this year.
I mean, you need to keep the economy going, though, as well.
Well, this is true. Absolutely, yes.
I wouldn't
want our New Jersey friends to suffer if I wasn't throwing money around in New Jersey.
And let's be fair, the dollar is not worth as much as it used to be.
It's always great at the moment for us.
Yeah, but should we jack up our prices at Legion's Con now? Because it's
that's a good point, actually. Yeah,
I can't buy a beer with what I'm selling ahead for when I get back home. This is the problem here.
Okay,
Rogue printing machine.
Rogue printing machine. So he operates a Patron thing, so you can just buy the sculpts that way. But these were actually sculpted by Art of Telman, who we've mentioned a few times. So on the left-hand side, you've got a fawn warrior / druid sort of look. So very much like a beast man type look with the horns, quite a flat nose, they're like cow deer type ears sticking out in a beard. I really like this sculpt. I think it's a cool one. They had it on 1.0 and Ogre in the picture, so I think this is the Ogre one. So it'd work with both of those. Then you have a goblin thug in the middle. He's got his little pointy beard, big bottom teeth, a little bit of a mohawk. People seem to love goblins and mohawks. It seems to be quite a big thing. That's a nice sculpt. And then my favourite of the three is on the right-hand side here. And it's a lion rogue. So it's a lion wearing a hood with like his tufty mane braided underneath his chin. I love this sculpt.
That was my favourite the minute I saw this slide as well.
Yeah, really good. Again, I haven't seen a painted up version. That's the problem with some of these. They're not as common, so you don't necessarily see the painted up versions. But I'm hoping, the lovely people that be selling painted stuff at Legion's Con will go, that's an unusual one. I'll get one of those painted up. Rich Jones might walk past my table.
Might make a cool alternative for Kai Pasha. I mean,
Mal. Yeah, no, that really would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, good call, Mal. There you go. Someone needs to print and paint a lot of these then to match that sort of that body. Come on,
like Kai Pasha.
Yeah.
I think the hood would be black then, so it wouldn't be too tough. And then obviously you can paint the lion or the cat face however you want.
Yeah. But it's the little, sorry, John, could you go back that for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
It's just the little things on this sculpt too. So look, the ear's got part of it missing. As you said, it's a little like distressed look, and the hood's got a little hole in the
One of my
the
cats
material
has
and
an ear
sort of
like
stuff.
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got in a fight. He was 1 or 2 years age, so a couple of years ago. And just a big chunk gone out of his ear. Pretty much like that. Yeah, never grew back together.
Well, you're gonna have to get one of these now, John, and paint it like you can.
Yeah,
You heard it here first, everybody.
He doesn't look that angry though. Right, these bonkers ones. I saw these in our group during the week, our group chat.
Today, I think it was that Mal sent these through.
Today?
This morning,
Yeah. Thanks, Mal.
Wow. These are blending together.
Again, Rogue Printing Machine and Art of Tellman, I believe. There's some really cool, there's a couple of really cool aliens. One's got like an eye visor type thing with like cords attaching it to the back of the head. One is just without that, but there's big teeth, there's big mandibles sticking out from the front. The one on the right's got a couple of like funky earrings and this sort of stuff. So you could easily use the one on the left as a cosmic one and the one on the right as some sort of weird orc type creature in Mythics. Yeah, I think that, although they're styled as alien hunters, that would work absolutely really well for Mythics.
I'm sorry, Rich. I'm gonna maybe some kind of orc vampire. I'm sorry, Rich. It just came to mind as I was looking at it.
That's the cash gone sigh. It's like, yeah, that's a very good point, Mal. I will now be getting one of those as a vampire. And on the next show, everybody, I promised to give Mal a space dwarf head that I had, an unpainted one. I will be breaking it on the screen with a hammer in the next show just to get my own back for this. And again, through Rogue Printing Machine, these are sculpted by Blackbeard Tatch. I think they're from a particular property. I have no idea what it is, but it's just this crazy looking demon with, is it like 4 eyes, I think, and a giant
Lord of Lies.
Okay, like a giant point, like a spear point coming out the middle of his head, and then big fancy horn things on the side. And then on the right hand side, you've got a couple that Corey painted up. That look really good, particularly the one on the red body. Works really well. I like that sort of flesh colour to it and that sort of thing. It's a great looking piece.
I was going to say it felt like a Diablo 4 thing. It looks like...
Is it Diablo, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got that feeling to it.
Yeah, you'd have to bring them home very carefully if you bought that in America. Lots of bubble wrap involved. But
yes.
Yeah.
Buckets of it.
And then Rogue Printing Machine, I think he did these himself. So it's just some hand, I say just, I don't mean that in a bad way, but some hand weapons. So again, it attaches on the second one down rather than at the wrist.
Yeah.
And you got like a plain blade, like a saw sort of thing. You've got a pirate's hook. You've got a spiked pirate's hook. And then you've got one that's like 3 blades, almost like a Wolverine type thing, but without the hand, it's just attached partway up the arm. Really cool little things that even I could paint up. They wouldn't look great, but they'd be good enough.
Sure?
And it just gives you, I've said that really confidently now.
You could do them.
Yeah. I'm actually planning on doing a little bit of painting this weekend, actually. I got to, as I'm putting all my vampire customs out, I need to touch up a couple of vampire phalanxes to give them a bit more of a pop, fancy look.
Cool. Looking forward to that.
Yes, I think that's it from Rogue Printing Machine, maybe. Yes. So, Josh Brown Customs and Rocket Fist Customs, they share their exclusives. So, they have their own separate shops. I think Josh has a website. Jared from Rocket Fist has his eBay store. But they share exclusives. So these were sculpted by Gianluca again from a design by H. Sigero. I don't know who that is. I probably should, but I see his stuff a lot, but I don't know. The left-hand side, Mal, do you want to describe this? I think this is one of your favourites, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love this. So it's a sort of evil-looking hand with sharp fingernails and rings on it. Looks like it could be some kind of, evil necromancer's hand, but then in the palm of it is just a big mouth with teeth and a tongue sticking out. Well, not sticking out, but on display. And it's just, gruesome.
It's creepy as hell, but really cool.
Want to play this?
really
It's
good.
awesome.
Yeah. And Josh was definitely at Legion's Con last year because I chatted to him a little bit. So, yeah, this will probably be there if you wanted to wait to that point. Next to it, you have a skull helmet or a skull faceplate in a normal sort of looking helmet. That's how I'm doing it rather than that's how I'm seeing it rather than an actual undead warrior with big horns coming out the top. It's pretty cool. The one next to it, the third one across from the left, really like this. It's almost like a dragon slayer type helmet with the little dragon-esque type horns coming out from the sides. There's 4 of those. Really fancy, intricate faceplate. Just the eyes, really like that. And then next to it on the right, you have a dragon wearing a helmet. And I love this. This one looks really good.
Yeah.
Dragonkin are such a cool race and a good idea sort of thing that, yeah, this is an awesome piece. But as I said, they're exclusives to Josh and to Jared. So if you want them, that's where you go to get them. And then I think this is exclusive just to Jared at Rocket Fist, but I could be wrong about that one. And it's if you subscribe to his Patreon, basically it's like a cosmic, like full head, but it's a full head, almost like a helmet mask. I think that's probably good. But I get sort of vague feline vibes from the nose and the eyes and that sort of thing. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And the kind of thin, the way the face kind of goes thin in the front. Prop masters.
Yes. Then we've got Zemo and Edu, our old friends at Prop Masters. And Prop Masters haven't put much out recently. Well, for a long while, actually. Hopefully they'll do more because they're really good guys and he's an excellent sculptor. So again, they've joined in with the undead theme at the moment. So they have an undead knight / crusader. So you got a really cool chainmail around the head and the neck, a zombie face with a nose missing. I love the zombie face with the nose missing. They're always cool. And then like a cross at the front of the helmet. It's like a domed helmet. And then there's 2 different torsos. It's basically the same torso with cloth on the outside, then chainmail underneath that, and then some ribs sticking through because he's obviously dead. One of them's got a cross on, one of them hasn't got a cross on, so you got the options. And you can also buy them as a head and torso as a set as well for a slight reduction in price on their website.
Cool.
Awesome pieces there. We're almost at the end, boys. This is the latest Emil Wickman Wolf King combo. Emil's doing 12 sculpts in 25. And this one is Tusji, I hope I pronounced that right, the Goblin. So it's a really angry looking goblin. Really angry. He's furious.
I like that one.
Someone has nicked his gold. He's bald. He's shouting. He just looks furious.
Yeah, a lot of wrinkles here, so nice one to paint. Definitely.
Yeah. Would something like a contrast paint work well on that?
Yeah.
But to run in the wrinkles and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Would you say give it a zenithal, John, and then contrast?
Zenithal, contrast paint, and tidy it up. You're done. Right. Fun bird.
And then finally,
hot off the press.
Hot off the press today, yes. Which people wouldn't do this on the day I'm pulling the slideshow together, but there we go.
And this good as well.
And this will be gone before you know it.
Yes. It's a 1 day only item which goes on sale this Saturday, the 28th of June. So you'll have this episode drop before then. It's a mask that's designed to go on a skeleton head, and it covers the top part of the head, and it's a cat mask, but the cat's got some spiky horns on it as well. If you haven't seen this already, look at Brian Burke's post in the Cabal or on the Coven, which is his own Facebook group. There's a fabulous bio that goes along with it about a blacksmith, and his pet cat is monstrously butchered, and he, plows all his vengeance into this mask, and it's a really great story. And the way the story, I think you said that, the way the story is worded, it's you can see it, graveyard skeleton.
Yeah, well, it was just
wearing this. It's got
it was giving off that sort of talking about the ashy environment and all that, and I could imagine the skeleton. It just gave you that dirty, grimy feel that felt like it'd work well on the graveyard skeleton from that.
Yeah, but it's I like it because it looks like quite a small cat in the face, but it's designed for a 1.0, which is quite good because all the sculpts we've had so far where it's been like what I would term a small cat, it tends to be a 2.0 buck,
Yeah.
Whereas this one's designed to go on a 1.0, so I really like that too.
Yeah, and also Von Burke Studios on Instagram. He has some details about it there in a little video. So, can pop
Yeah,
over
but one
there.
day only, people. So if you want it, Saturday the 28th of June is the day to go. And then you can celebrate getting it the following day by listening into our live quiz.
Yeah, which we must promote. But first, we have young Mr. Houseal as well. He has some stuff that he was showing recently. So this, what would you say, kind of...
It's
It's a big long
tentacle,
octopus
isn't it?
tentacle,
Yeah,
isn't it,
yeah.
basically?
Could you imagine it's sort of a kraken or something like that coming
Yeah.
out of the sea?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
kind of goes around the figures.
Yeah, it's exactly the sort of thing you'd have seen in sort of 60s monster flicks.
Yeah.
It's a cool little dio piece, really, isn't it?
It is.
To
Yeah.
add a bit extra to your figures.
Yeah, pop your figures in the middle of that. That's very cool.
Yeah, so very cool. And he also had this cart that he was selling, and I guess will be selling at Legion's Con, and this crossbow, which again, and I think that's made out of the more durable 3D printing. So this, what do they call it? MDF printing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stuff, isn't it? The details aren't as crisp, but it's much more durable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but for this kind of,
But this sort of thing is perfect.
yeah,
Absolutely
and it's
perfect,
also
yeah.
getting much better with regards to the detail. The technology has taken a jump.
But I
Oh,
love
that
that car.
spaceship
That
we
car's
got
really.
of Stefan.
Yes, that was that, wasn't it?
That stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could almost drop it in the ground and it wouldn't break. Almost. So yeah, these carts are cool. I like it as well. Something to jazz up your display. Fits in with the horse. Goes through the loops there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
You
Dwarfhammer,
could use
of
it.
course.
Sorry,
Sorry,
John. I was just popped into my head. You could use it with Flogius, and you could just have a pile of bodies in the back of the car. So it's a zombie horse just dragging bodies, like corpses around in a cart behind it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
exactly
me
what
sold.
Anthony
Okay.
designed it for. But yeah, he'll sell you one for that. I'm sure he
Yeah.
will. And we got a dwarf hammer in dwarf scale, but he also has one in real scale to hit Rich with.
Yeah. When you mentioned that, Tim, I was like, cheers, John. Yeah, that idea hopefully wasn't in his head, and now it's in his head.
I don't know if the full size one is a 1 of 1, I assume. But
I don't know.
you
I
never
think
know.
there was for sale. I think Dan Tobin's going to be selling that show in a couple of weeks, isn't he? So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so there might be more than one.
Right. And
Dang.
I assume that the
I wonder if I could fit one in a
the
suitcase.
dwarf scale one, I think I even have one of those. I bought it off Anthony before. So, yeah, very cool. So that's your 3D parts lot, Rich.
We got through that quicker than I thought we would. Actually, I thought it was
Yeah,
going to
we
be like
did
a
all right.
2-hour episode.
Yeah. Well, I think the best thing he did was put a bunch of pictures into each slide, because I think otherwise we would have been here all week.
Yeah.
We would have had fun
for
but,
hours
you
and
know,
hours and hours, John. It's like,
Yeah. We still would have enjoyed it,
yeah, absolutely.
So there you go. That's the crack with that. As you said, on Sunday, the 29th of June, we're still in June, we'll have a live stream at 8 p.m. UK, 9 p.m.
8 p.m.
Euro
UK.
time.
Yeah, 3 p.m. East Coast America time.
Yeah, and 9 p.m. Europe time for our one Patreon. And the other listeners. You know.
But it's our mid-year toy quiz. So there's going to be 8 rounds, all toy focused. Because the last quiz had a lot of, I think it was all movie stuff, actually.
Yeah, which is why I was rubbish at it.
Yeah, you weren't very good at it, John. Mal, who should have been, was quite poor as well, but we'll skip past that.
Studied movies
I'm
in
going to be
uni,
poor
yeah.
at all of them.
Yeah.
I'm not
but this is toys.
A moment.
There's lots of there's lots of legions, stuff involved, but there's also non-legion stuff as well. Just to throw it out there, mix it up a little bit, get people thinking. And most importantly, there will be 10 different drawings by me. There's 2 rounds of 5 drawings in each.
Excellent.
One round will be figures, as per normal, and then there's one round where I've gone slightly off-piste.
And are you back to being crap again?
I mean, I've always been crap, but yes, I.
You were a bit less crap for a while.
Well, I got
wasn't as
grief
much
for being a bit too obvious, so I
Yeah.
didn't include lots of weapons with the figures this time because sometimes a weapon gives away what it is, sort of thing. So yeah,
Yeah, I suppose Malleus with the 2 axes. It's just
it's back a bit more to my traditional style. I think it's fair to say. But the Segway drawings, I'm so excited about those. I think you'll like them.
Who have we got lined up?
We have Mr. Anthony Houseel. We have Curtis Ackerman. This is where I forget somebody now. I feel terrible. We have the Purple Gang boys, Jordan and Van.
Oh, well, there's the chaos.
Oh, God,
They're your
who else we got? We got
responsibility
Trevor. Yes. Van's already asked if there's a drink limit, so that suggests how that show's going to go.
I mean, we're not doing taste of vision here or whatever, smell of vision, drink away.
Trevor, 1/6 shooter, is coming along as well.
He's also coming to Rich's Random soon.
He is indeed. I can't remember if that's it or not. I invited a few people and a couple of people said no, so bear with me just a second.
People said no.
Yes.
So we might have some slots
Intimidated by
open.
Rich's talent. That's what it is.
And then we have Jesse Arnold. So we'll have the whole Shooting the Shelf gang on. And then we also have Jonathan from the Saturday afternoon show as well.
Excellent.
Jonathan
Okay.
Hedgehog. So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 guests plus you 2 nobodies. So
Yeah, okay. I think we're probably full house.
Lots
then,
of people taking part.
We
are full house.
To the limits of StreamYard.
Yeah.
Feel free to come watch and shout your answers at the screen and in the chat.
Yes, we always say that. It's like with the contestants, we say, you don't have to crib the answers off somebody else who's putting the comments in if you want, but you can if you want to. So we absolutely encourage people to come along.
Yeah, because
throw guesses out
they're
of
right
terrible
or not,
drawings.
It's
exactly.
It's to mess with people's heads.
Yeah. And it's always good fun. The host apparently is amazing. So I've heard.
I am, yeah, thanks.
John's not hosting it, just so we're clear.
I'm participating, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yes, but it's good fun. So yeah, without blowing our own trumpet too much, I do highly recommend it to people. Come along, spend your Sunday afternoon with us if you're in America.
And then Rich needs a whole week to recover from that because he won't be on next week's regular episode. So
I won't be. Me and my lady wife are away for the evening. We're going out for a meal and that sort of thing because the child's on a school trip for the night. So.
Oh, is she? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, thank you, Mal.
Well, you can play this segment of the show. Sure. Just that segment. And just say nothing. Just clip it up. Put it, send it to her in a message and say nothing else. Oh, that's one.
But
way.
You've adequately replaced me. I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think we got 2 guests. I won't say who yet because if something falls through, I'm playing it safe here. But we have 2 great guests, and I'm sure we'll have something fun to talk about. Let's see. So, that's your lot for this week, I guess. Have you anything else? Do you have any other soapboxes you want to sit on, or you want to complain about the way people drive or the way they park, or anything else like that? No, I'm finishing booking my trip through UK, so in the summer. So I'm gonna definitely catch up with you boys. Definitely Rich because I'm stopping by Bristol. Mal is trying to make it that day.
To that.
Staying a night in Guion's hometown, so I'm gonna meet up with Guion and Megs as well. Going to stay in the castle in their town. There you go. Have you got a castle?
Oh, you're staying in the castle? Fancy.
You've only got a Marriott in Bristol, so I've had to stay there. Yeah.
It's called the Marriott Royal, though.
Yeah. I'm expecting to meet Charles and whoever else there, as we enter.
And the green area directly outside that is always where the protests take place. If there's any protests, so
great.
Something like that.
Yeah, so trying to get parking in the hotel. The hotel has parking, but there's some protesters outside. So
I'm sure
to look with that. We'll have offloaded all the booze by then. So any special requests, Rich? Well, I'll definitely bring a bottle for your good lady wife again, just to make your life easier.
No, if it's for Kerry, it'd have to be non-alcoholic, dude. She doesn't drink.
Oh, she doesn't drink. Okay.
She's been teetotal for the last 18 months, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, you told me, yeah. Crap. Okay.
So nuts to her, just bring me something.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sorry, Kerry. Bring you some chocolates or something.
Remember, everybody, stay safe out there. If you drop a 3D piece on the floor, even if it doesn't break, it can still be sharp. So keep an eye on your feet. No Lego type incidents needed.